All right, so the second leg semi-final between Stellenbosch FC and Mamelodi Sundowns will be played tomorrow at the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban. The winner of that encounter will take on Pirates in the MTN8 final. Now, the University of the Western Cape, UWC, have made history. They have become the first tertiary institution to play in the CAF Women's Champions League. UWC were crowned the COSAFA Women's Champions League champions last week after they beat Gaborone United ladies in the final on penalties to clinch the title. South Africa will now be sending 2 teams to the Champions League later this year. The defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns ladies and, of course, UWC, the regional champs. Joining us online is the UWC head coach Tina Sonke Mbuli. A very good evening to you, Tina. Coach, you are incredible. You have made history. What an achievement. Looking back on your success, going all the way to Malawi, coming back with that trophy, and of course, solidifying your spot in the Continental Championships. How are you feeling at the moment? How's the team feeling?
We are still, good evening to you, Collie, and good evening to your viewers. We are still excited, still happy. Today, it's 6 days after we've won COSAFA Championship, but unfortunately, we don't have time to celebrate because quickly we must go back to the league. As I'm talking to you, I'm in Limpopo. We are playing tomorrow.
Oh, and it's going to be a tough one against First Touch, of course, at the old Peter Mokaba Stadium. And that is because you are looking at making sure that you are lessening that gap between you and Sundowns at the top of the Hollywood Bet Super League. But I want us now to get into what happened in Malawi in terms of the COSAFA tournament. You are playing on an artificial pitch. That alone brings its own conditions and its own obstacles.
Beside the pitch, the weather, it was extremely hot. Obviously, we're coming from Cape Town. Cape Town, this time of the season, it's the wet season. It's raining. If it's not raining, it's windy. So we prepared in that conditions, and then we had to go to Malawi and then play in, first of all, artificial pitch. And it was very hot. Obviously, artificial pitch, there's a lot of disadvantages. If you miss the bounce and then you're out, you can't even time. If you can't time the ball and then it bounced, then you're out. And second game, we missed Dulona Temba because of a grass ban. And grass ban from getting it from no contact, just from the artificial pitch. But yeah, I think that's why we played like we played first game, because we were trying to adjust to the conditions.
Yeah, and of course it was heartbreaking to start things off in your debut season with that loss, but it taught you so much, because we even saw in that semi-final against the Young Buffaloes 6-0, you know, it was the highest score that we had seen in the tournament so far.
I think the quicker you adjust to defeat, be it in the league or in a tournament, it works better for a team. We only had 1 day to rest, recover, and then prepare for the next one. So we didn't have time to be sad, to feel sad and say, okay, now what's happening? We knew. And I think the most important part as a coach is, I think if you can identify the problem, and then you will have a chance to correct it. I think we knew why we lost the first game, beside the conditions. And if a team can't score from open play, they'll always punish you from set play. That's why we considered towards the end of the game, and it was from a set play.
And of course, that final was thrilling. We remember how Ucesane scored towards the end of the match, and then there was the equalizer. But what was also so great about you winning COSAFA was that also there were individual awards that went through to the team in terms of the Golden Glove to Uspesihle and, of course, Ugamete. That speaks to really the depth and the quality in the squad.
It does, and it says a lot, because we only considered 3 goals to the whole tournament. So our defense was really strong. And if you look at the players that made it to the final 11, is Ufigile as a defender, Ubongega we use as a centre back or the CDM. And then we had Amo. We had Amo first round, and then towards the end we had Unox. Unox sometimes we use it as a winger, or sometimes we use it as a attacking midfielder. So you could see It's players that play in the spine of our team, and obviously we had Usihle, and I think Usihle had a good tournament, man, and I was so happy for her because she was under a lot of pressure because a lot was expected of her. She's a player that doesn't normally get a game time in the league because she competes with Urikel, and I think we all know the quality of Urikel. So I think it was a bonus for her, for us to say, okay, fine, Urikel is not available. This is a chance to showcase how good you are, and then she did it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And this huge milestone also comes in the year where you are completing your UEFA B coaching license. So, izinto nje ziyahlangana, things are looking good. They're on the up and up.
I don't think I'll pass this phase because I had to attend classes when we were supposed to train. I had to attend classes during match days. I had to submit during the tournament. So I think when I pass, I'll just say thanks to the instructors for being loyal with me, because I had to request for extension to submit now. Currently, that's what I'm busy with now, so that I can catch up and be ready for the second phase.
Sure. Absolutely incredible. So now, how do you plan for Morocco later this year? It will be you debuting in the CAF Women's Champions League. Sundowns is also going to be there. Historically, for South Africa, having two clubs there, what then becomes of your preparations?
Unfortunately, we won't have time to play the league games, stop, and then prepare for the tournament. We don't have a choice. We have to use the league games as preparation for that. And hopefully that we don't get injuries because we were lucky playing in a tournament like that and coming back home with no injuries. So we'll just use the league games as preparation for that, because USAFA won't give us time to stop the games and then prepare for the tournament.
Sure. Well, huge congratulations on your feat. Debut season, becoming the first African university to compete in the CAF Women's Champions League. And all the best for tomorrow. Hopefully it will be 3 points there at the old Peter Mokaba Stadium in the Hollywood Bets League. Of course, as you try to gain momentum and really close the gap between you and Sundowns. Ladies, that was, of course, the head coach of UWC, Tina Mbuli. She's also the assistant coach of Banyana Banyana and has made history, really bringing back home the championship in terms of COSAFA and qualifying for the Women's CAF Champions League that will be played later this year in Morocco.